Section 1. The Driver's License. Section 1 explores how South Carolina issues, manages, and revokes your driver's license, knowledge every applicant needs before scheduling their first test. Use these pages to grasp permit rules, license classes, graduated licensing, renewal options, and the state's point system so you can stay legal from day one. About this manual. The Driver's Manual is your official roadmap to South Carolina traffic laws, safe driving practices, and licensing procedures. It explains the meaning of all major signs, signals, pavement markings, and required behaviors before you operate a vehicle. Treat it as a contract. The material you study here is exactly what examiners will expect you to demonstrate on knowledge and skills tests. Types of driver's licenses and driver's permits. South Carolina issues Class D through Class M non-commercial licenses plus CDL classes A, B, and C for heavier or passenger-carrying vehicles. Class D covers ordinary cars and light trucks under 26,000 pounds GVW, while Classes E and F allow heavier single or combination units. A separate Class G moped credential is available from age 15, and Class M authorizes 2- and 3-wheel motorcycles. Every driver may hold only one valid license endorsed for every class they qualify to operate. Multiple state licenses are illegal. Licensing requirements. First-time applicants must present original proof of identity, U.S. citizenship or lawful status, Social Security number, and South Carolina residential address. International customers apply only at designated SCDMV branches and must bring documents listed on Form MV94. All new drivers begin with a beginner's permit after passing vision and knowledge tests. The permit must be held at least 180 days. Under 17 applicants must log 40 supervised practice hours, including 10 at night, and meet school attendance requirements. Beginner's permit. Eligible from age 15, the permit lets you drive from 6 a.m. midnight with a 21-year-old licensed supervisor in the front seat. Supervision after midnight must be by a parent, guardian, or other adult listed in Section 561100. Permit holders younger than 17 must document practice hours and hold the permit a full 180 days before any road test. Driving solo or violating passenger/time limits can reset the waiting period or trigger suspension. First-time driver's license. Applicants 17 plus may test for full Class D privileges after the 180-day permit period. No driver ed is required at this age. Applicants 1516 move into the graduated driver's license program and must complete an approved driver education course. A skills test in a safe, properly registered and insured vehicle is mandatory for all first-time license seekers. Failure of the skills test imposes a 2-day, 7-day, or 30-day waiting period, depending on attempt number. Graduated Driver's License Program. South Carolina eases teens into full privileges through conditional 15.516 and special restricted 1617 licenses. These licenses limit unsupervised driving to 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 8 p.m. in daylight saving time, and cap teen passengers at 2. Holding the provisional credential for 12 flawless months automatically upgrades the teen to full driving status at 17. Waivers can extend nightly driving to midnight for work, school, or church activities when approved by SCDMV. Required non-commercial license tests. Every new license class requires passing vision, knowledge, and road tests. Mopeds are exempt from the road portion. Knowledge and vision tests are available at any branch or through authorized third-party schools under the One-Stop program. Arriving for a skills test with an unsafe vehicle, missing documents, or without a licensed driver results in cancellation. Random re-examination can occur even after third-party testing, so study and vehicle readiness remain essential. Out-of-state license or driving on an existing license. New residents must surrender out-of-state licenses within 45 days. Those expired more than 9 months must retest fully. Temporary military personnel and students may keep home state licenses, but must carry valid credentials while driving in SC. Visitors from abroad should obtain an international driving permit to translate their foreign license for law enforcement clarity. Moving out of state requires surrendering your SC license and plate. Failure to return the plate before canceling insurance can incur up to $400 in fees. Driver's license renewal. Standard renewals occur every 8 years and require a vision screening, which SC eye care professionals now file electronically. U.S. citizens may renew online or by mail if they meet clean record and eyesight criteria. All others must visit a branch. Licenses expired longer than 9 months trigger mandatory vision, knowledge, and skills retesting before renewal. Active duty military can renew without vision screening by submitting a recent leave and earnings statement and military ID. Loss of driving privileges. South Carolina's point system assigns 6 points per violation. Totals have after 1 year, but 12 active points mean suspension. Teen drivers with 6+ points lose conditional or special restricted licenses for 6 months, and the National Safety Course will not lift the ban. Certain offenses, DUI, refusing a chemical test, excessive speeding, trigger mandatory suspension or revocation outside the point system. Route-restricted, provisional, and temporary alcohol licenses provide limited mobility during specific suspensions, but usually cost $100 and strict compliance. Section 1 Summary. You now know the paperwork, tests, time limits, and discipline rules that control every South Carolina driver's license, from permit to reinstatement. Keep these essentials in mind as you study the next section on state laws and rules of the road, understanding the why behind every traffic control you'll meet. Section 2. State laws and rules of the road. Section 2 introduces South Carolina's core traffic statutes, so you know exactly how, when, and where to drive within the law. Master these rules early. They shape every safe driving habit and prevent expensive citations or license points. Obeying traffic control devices. All drivers must follow official signs, signals, and pavement markings unless a police officer directs otherwise. Running a red light or ignoring a regulatory sign can add 4 points to your record and raise insurance premiums. Flashing yellow arrows and lane use signals carry the same legal weight as study lights. Treat them accordingly. Right-of-way responsibilities. Yield to pedestrians in crosswalks, traffic already in an intersection, and emergency vehicles using lights or sirens. At a 4-way stop, the first vehicle to arrive proceeds first. If 2 arrive together, the one on the right goes first. Failing to yield right-of-way is a leading crash cause and carries a fine plus 4 license points. Move over for stopped vehicles. When approaching a stopped emergency, tow, utility, or highway maintenance vehicle with flashing lights, move 1 lane away. If a lane change is impossible, slow at least 20 miles per hour below the posted speed or to 10 miles per hour on roads posted under 25 miles per hour. Violations can double the base fine and add 2 points to your South Carolina record. Seatbelt and child restraint laws. South Carolina requires seatbelts for every driver and passenger. Officers may stop a vehicle solely for belt violations. Children under 8 must ride in an approved safety seat or booster suited to their age, weight, and height. Unbelted occupants become deadly projectiles in crashes. Wearing restraints cuts fatal injury risk nearly in half. Speed limits and the basic law. Unless otherwise posted, South Carolina limits speeds to 25 miles per hour in residential areas, 55 miles per hour on rural roads, and 70 miles per hour on interstates. The basic speed law requires you to drive no faster than conditions allow, even below the posted limit in rain, fog, or traffic. Exceeding the limit by 25 miles per hour or more is considered reckless driving and may trigger immediate suspension. Following distance and lane discipline. Maintain a minimum 3-second gap in ideal conditions. Double it at night, in rain, or behind large trucks. Keep right except when overtaking, turning left, or when road signs designate otherwise. Lingering in the left lane blocks traffic flow. Tailgating or erratic lane changes can be cited as aggressive driving and add up to 6 points. Section 2 Summary. These state laws form the backbone of courteous, predictable driving that prevents collisions and keeps traffic moving smoothly for everyone. Commit them to memory now so on the road they become second nature. Your license, wallet, and fellow road users will thank you. Section 3. Be in shape to drive. Section 3 explains how your physical and mental condition affects every driving decision well before you start the engine. Use these self-check guidelines to make sure you are alert, healthy, and fully capable each time you take the wheel. Vision, your primary driving sense. South Carolina requires at least 20 to 40 acuity in one eye and 140 degrees peripheral vision with or without correction. Dirty windshields, scratched lenses, and dark sunglasses at night all reduce visual information you need to react. Schedule professional eye exams every 2 years. Update prescription glasses before night glare or sign reading becomes difficult. Hearing and awareness. Although hearing is secondary to vision, sirens, horns, and engine sounds give critical safety cues. Keep audio volume low enough to hear exterior warnings and never wear dual earbuds while driving. It is illegal in SC. If you use hearing aids, be sure batteries are fresh and devices are in place before starting off. Fatigue and drowsy driving. Being awake 18 hours affects driving similar to a 0.05 BAC. At 24 hours it mirrors 0.10 BAC impairment. Early warning signs include yawning, drifting from your lane, and difficulty remembering the last few miles. Plan breaks every 2 hours, shared driving on long trips, and never rely on caffeine alone to stay alert. Medications and driving. Cold remedies, pain relievers, sleep aids, and allergy pills often cause drowsiness, blurred vision, or delayed reflexes. Read pharmacy labels. May cause dizziness means you should not drive until you know your reaction. Mixing prescribed drugs with even small amounts of alcohol multiplies impairment and violates DUI laws. Alcohol and illegal drugs. Any measurable alcohol under age 21 or a .08 BAC for adults triggers arrest, but impairment begins long before legal limits. Illegal drugs and cannabis slow coordination, distort perception, and remain detectable in blood well after use. Plan a sober ride before drinking. South Carolina's ignition interlock and vehicle seizure penalties are severe for repeat DUIs. Emotions, stress, and aggression. Strong emotions narrow focus and invite risky choices like speeding or tailgating. Take time to cool down before driving. Avoid eye contact with aggressive drivers and do not engage. Increasing following distance diffuses most tense situations. Listening to calm music, practicing deep breathing, or pulling over briefly can reset your mindset. Illness and physical limitations. Fever, severe cough, or limited range of motion reduces the ability to spot hazards and operate controls smoothly. Install adaptive devices, larger mirrors, spinner knobs, left foot accelerators, if permanent conditions affect mobility. Ask a physician to complete the medical evaluation form if you are unsure whether a diagnosis affects licensing. Carbon monoxide awareness. A leaking exhaust system or idling in enclosed spaces lets odorless CO gas enter the cabin and cause drowsiness or death. Have the exhaust inspected yearly and never warm up a vehicle inside a closed garage, even with the door open. If occupants feel sudden headache or nausea, stop safely, turn off the car, and move into fresh air immediately. Section 3 Summary. Driving demands a clear mind, rested body, and fully functional senses. Never compromise on these essentials. Perform this personal fitness check every trip, and you will avoid crashes, citations, and costly health setbacks. Section 4. Before you drive. Section 4 covers the steps you should complete before rolling even an inch, from walk-around inspections to adjusting technology, to guarantee a safe, comfortable trip. Make these checks routine and you will spot hazards early, prevent breakdowns, and start every drive with confidence. Exterior walk-around inspection. Circle the vehicle looking for fluid leaks, low tires, broken lights, or objects near the wheels that could damage the car or be struck. Confirm license plates, mirrors, and windows are clean. Dirt hides defects and blocks vital sightlines or law enforcement numbers. Verify no pedestrians, pets, or children are behind or under the vehicle, especially in driveways and parking lots. Tire and wheel checks. Inspect tread depth with the penny test. Replace tires worn below 2/32 inch to maintain grip in wet weather. Use an accurate gauge to set cold pressure to the door jamb specification, not the sidewall maximum. Look for cuts, bulges, or missing lug nuts that signal weakened tire structure or loose wheels. Adjusting seat, steering, and head restraint. Set the seat so your chest is at least 10 inches from the airbag cover and your elbows remain slightly bent at 9 and 3 will grip. Raise or lower the head restraint so the center aligns with the middle of your head to reduce whiplash injury. Tilt and telescope the steering column until gauges are fully visible and wrists rest on the wheel rim when arms stretch forward. Mirrors and sightlines. Adjust inside and outside mirrors before moving. Lean head to left then right to set side mirrors so vehicle flanks barely disappear from view. Clear vision through all windows prevents blind spot collisions and traffic violations for obstructed glass. Add wide-angle or spot mirrors if towing or driving a large vehicle to widen the field of view. Seat belts and child restraints. Buckle up every occupant before shifting out of park. Drivers share legal responsibility for unrestrained passengers. Route lap belts low across hip bones and shoulder belts diagonally across the chest, not under the arm or behind the back. Secure child seats tightly. The seat should not move more than 1 inch side to side when tugged at the belt path. Starting checklist and dashboard indicators. Press the brake, turn the key or push the button, and confirm gauges sweep and warning lights self-test then extinguish. If the brake, airbag, ABS, or engine light stays on, resolve the issue before driving to prevent sudden failure. Set parking brake, adjust automatic headlights to auto, and program windshield wipers for expected weather. Climate, defrost, and visibility prep. Set climate controls to clear the windshield and maintain comfortable cabin temperature to reduce driver fatigue. Activate rear defroster and heated mirrors when temperatures drop to prevent fogging and ice buildup. Store sunglasses within reach to combat glare from low sun angles and reflective road surfaces. Infotainment and navigation setup. Program GPS destinations, playlists, or podcasts before rolling to avoid eyes-off road distractions. Pair phones to hands-free systems and silence non-urgent notifications. South Carolina bans holding a phone while driving. Mount devices securely within easy glance distance. Loose phones become projectiles and divert attention. Securing cargo and passengers. Place heavier items low and forward in the trunk. Unsecured cargo can shift and alter vehicle balance in sudden maneuvers. Use nets, straps, or closed compartments to restrain groceries, tools, and sports equipment inside the cabin. In pickup beds, tie down loads with rated straps and cover loose materials to prevent debris on the roadway. Mental readiness and route planning. Review route, traffic, and weather forecasts to choose the safest, most efficient path and avoid last-minute detours. Allow extra travel time so you are not tempted to speed or weave through traffic under schedule pressure. Practice a short breathing exercise before engaging gear to center attention and commit to courteous, defensive driving. Section 4 Summary. Taking 5 minutes to prepare your vehicle, your passengers, and yourself pays huge dividends in crash avoidance, comfort, and mechanical longevity. Adopt this pre-drive checklist every trip and small problems will stay small instead of becoming roadside emergencies. Section 5 will guide you through safe handling once you are on the move in South Carolina's diverse traffic environments. Section 5 Basic Driving. Section 5 walks you through the core vehicle handling skills, starting, steering, stopping, and scanning, that form the bedrock of safe driving. Practice these basics until they become muscle memory so you can focus on traffic and unexpected hazards. Starting and moving off. With foot on brake, shift to drive, release parking brake, check mirrors and over-shoulder blind spot before easing off. Apply gentle throttle. Sudden acceleration wastes fuel and startles nearby traffic. Signal first move from the curb at least 3 seconds before pulling out. Steering techniques. Use the push-pull shuffle method for smooth control and to keep both hands in contact with the wheel. Hand over hand is acceptable for tight, low-speed turns such as parking lot maneuvers. Keep hands at 9 and 3, never the top of the wheel where airbag deployment can injure arms. Scanning and visual search. Aim your vision 12 to 15 seconds down the roadway to spot problems early and plan smooth adjustments. Every 5-8 seconds, check mirrors to track traffic behind and beside you. Before braking or turning, glance over the appropriate shoulder to clear blind spots. Lane position and keeping right. Center the vehicle in your lane with equal space on both sides. Drifting invites sideswipes and road edge drop-offs. Keep right except when passing, preparing for a left turn, or when signs designate otherwise. On multi-lane roads, choose the lane that matches your speed and destination. Constant lane changes raise crash risk. Speed control and spacing. Use gentle, progressive acceleration to reach the speed limit. Harsh throttle wastes fuel and reduces traction in wet weather. Maintain at least a 3-second following distance in ideal conditions. Double it in rain or behind motorcycles. Cover the brake when you spot stale green lights, school zones, or congested areas to shorten reaction time. Smooth stopping. Begin braking early using steady pressure. A final easing at 510 mph prevents passenger forward lurch. Stop so you can see the rear tires of the vehicle ahead touching pavement. This leaves escape room. Use right foot only for brake and accelerator to avoid pedal confusion. Backing safely. Before reversing, walk around the vehicle to ensure the path is clear of children, pets, or obstacles. Keep foot lightly on brake, shift to reverse, and look through the rear window, not mirrors, while moving at walking speed. Continuous small steering inputs control direction. Stop immediately if your view becomes blocked. Hill starts and parking brake use. When stopped uphill, hold the vehicle with brake, then smoothly apply throttle while releasing brake to avoid rollback. Always set the parking brake when parking. Turn wheels appropriately to prevent rolling into traffic. In manual vehicles, use first gear facing uphill and reverse gear facing downhill to add mechanical hold. Section 5 Summary. Mastering these basic skills frees mental bandwidth for complex traffic scenarios covered in later sections. Practice starting, steering, scanning, and smooth stops in a quiet area until they feel natural and consistent. Section 6 Rules of the Road. Section 6 turns theory into concrete roadway rules, from signals and intersections to safe passing and parking, so you can predict how every vehicle should behave. Study these standards until they are automatic. They protect you, your passengers, and every South Carolinian sharing the road. Speed limits and safe speed. Obey posted limits, 25 miles per hour in residential areas, 55 miles per hour on 2-lane rural highways, and 70 miles per hour on interstates unless signs say otherwise. South Carolina's basic speed law requires driving no faster than conditions allow, even below the limit in rain, fog, or heavy traffic. Exceeding the limit by 25 miles per hour or more is reckless driving, punishable by license suspension and sky-high insurance surcharges. Traffic signals and regulatory signs. A steady red means stop fully. Right turn on red is allowed after a complete stop unless a sign prohibits it. Flashing yellow arrows permit left turns when clear, but you must yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. Regulatory signs such as do not enter or one way carry the weight of law. Ignoring them adds 4 points to your record. Right-of-way at intersections. The first vehicle to reach a four-way stop proceeds first. When two arrive together, the driver on the right goes first. Always yield to pedestrians legally crossing and to traffic already inside a roundabout or intersection. Turning vehicles must yield to oncoming straight-through or right-turn traffic before completing the maneuver. Turning and lane usage. Signal at least 100 feet before any turn and keep the signal active until the turn is completed. Enter and complete a turn in the proper lane. Right turns begin and end in the rightmost lane. Left turns finish in the lane just right of center. Do not change lanes within an intersection unless lane control devices specifically direct you to do so. Passing and no passing zones. Pass only on the left when the center line is broken and you can see at least 500 feet ahead free of oncoming traffic. Do not pass within 100 feet of intersections, railroad crossings, bridges, or tunnels, even if the line is broken. On multi-lane roads, slower traffic keeps right. Pass on the right only when the vehicle ahead is turning left or on roads with 2 or more lanes in your direction. Following distance. Use the 3-second rule in ideal conditions. Pick a roadside object and ensure 3 seconds elapse before you reach it. Double the gap at night, in rain, or when following motorcycles and large trucks that block your view. Tailgating is an aggressive driving offense and adds up to 6 license points if a citation is issued. Roundabouts and traffic circles. Approach at reduced speed, yield to traffic already circulating, and enter when a safe gap appears from the left. Travel counterclockwise. Never stop inside the circle unless avoiding a collision. Signal right as you reach your exit to alert drivers behind you of your intention to leave the roundabout. School buses and stopped vehicles. You must stop for a school bus with flashing red lights on all undivided roadways. Remain stopped until lights cease and the stop arm retracts. On divided highways, only traffic following the bus must stop. Opposing traffic proceeds with caution. Violations carry a minimum $500 fine and 6 points, one of the heaviest penalties in the code. Railroad crossings. Stop at least 15 feet from tracks when lights flash, gates lower, or a flagger signals an approaching train. Never shift gears while crossing tracks in a manual transmission. Stalling on rails can be fatal. Buses and certain hazmat trucks must always stop, so be prepared to slow behind them near tracks. Stopping, standing, and parking. Park parallel within 18 inches of the curb, wheels turned appropriately on hills, and always set the parking brake. It is illegal to park in front of driveways, within 20 feet of crosswalks, 30 feet of stop signs, or 50 feet of railroad crossings. Do not double park or stop in travel lanes except for emergencies directed by law enforcement. Move over and emergency vehicles. When an emergency vehicle approaches with lights or siren, pull to the nearest curb and stop until it passes. For stopped emergency, tow, or utility vehicles with flashing lights, move 1 lane away or slow at least 20 miles per hour below the limit. Failure to comply can double fines and place 2 points on your driving record. Pedestrians and cyclists. Yield to pedestrians in marked or unmarked crosswalks. Never overtake a vehicle stopped for pedestrians. Provide at least 3 feet of clearance when passing bicyclists and be alert for cyclists riding with traffic flow. Before turning right, always check mirrors and blind spot for cyclists traveling straight through the intersection. Work zone safety. Orange signs indicate work zones. Reduce speed, obey flaggers, and be prepared for abrupt lane shifts or stops. Fines double for many violations when workers are present. Aggressive driving can lead to criminal charges. Stay off handheld devices. Distracted driving tickets in work zones add hefty surcharges. Expressway driving rules. Signal and accelerate on the entrance ramp to match expressway speed before merging into a safe gap. Keep right except to pass. Continuous left lane travel hinders traffic flow and risks road rage incidents. Use the smog, routine, signal, mirror, over shoulder, go before every lane change at highway speeds. Section 6 Summary. These rules of the road knit every driver's actions into a predictable system. Learn them, follow them, and you will navigate South Carolina with safety and confidence. Section 7 General Driving. Section 7 puts all previous chapters into motion, showing how to blend speed control, spacing, and scanning into a smooth, confident drive every time. Apply these best practice techniques to city streets, rural curves, and interstates alike to avoid surprises and cut reaction time. Visual search and space management. Keep eyes moving, scan 1 to 15 seconds ahead while checking mirrors every 5-8 seconds for changing traffic. Establish escape paths on both sides by centering in your lane and tracking gaps around you. Avoid focusing on one object. Scanning prevents tunnel vision and early fatigue. Safe following distance. Use a minimum 3-second gap in ideal conditions, double in rain, fog, or behind motorcycles and large trucks. Increase to 4 seconds when towing or driving at night to offset longer stopping distances. If another driver tailgates, ease off the accelerator to widen space ahead and encourage a safe pass. Lane discipline and passing etiquette. Stay right except to pass. Lingering in the left lane encourages aggressive overtaking and violates SC code. Signal mirror over shoulder, go, smog. For every lane change, never rely only on mirrors. Return to your lane only when both headlights of the passed vehicle appear in your interior mirror. Entering and exiting highways. Use the full length of the acceleration lane to reach traffic speed before merging. Look over your shoulder into the blind spot just before blending into the nearest through lane. When exiting, signal early and maintain highway speed until reaching the deceleration lane. Negotiating curves and hills. Slow before the curve, gentle acceleration halfway through stabilizes weight on rear wheels for traction. Use lower gears on steep descents to spare brakes and avoid fade. On hill crests, be ready for hidden obstacles such as slow farm equipment or stopped traffic. Night driving fundamentals. Switch to low beams within 500 feet of oncoming vehicles and 200 feet when following a vehicle. Dim dashboard lights and clean windshield inside and out to cut glare and reflections. If blinded, focus on right pavement edge until vision returns. Never retaliate with high beams. Adverse weather adjustments. Reduce speed 510 mph below the limit in rain, more in heavy downpours to avoid hydroplaning. In fog, use low beams and fog lamps and be ready to pull off at the next safe exit if visibility drops below 100 feet. Snow and ice demand smooth steering, throttle, and brake inputs. Sudden maneuvers trigger skids. Managing skids and emergencies. If rear wheels skid, steer in the direction you want the front end to go and ease off both pedals. For tire blowouts, grip wheel firmly, decelerate gradually, and steer straight to a safe shoulder. Keep an emergency kit with triangles, flashlight, and first aid supplies for breakdowns away from help. Sharing the road with vulnerable users. Provide at least 3 feet when overtaking bicyclists and more at higher speeds. Watch for pedestrians stepping from between parked cars in urban areas and near bus stops. Large trucks need extra space. Avoid driving in their blind spot no zones along both sides and rear. School, work, and residential zones. Obey reduced speed limits. Fines double for violations in signed work zones when workers present. Scan continuously for children, pets, and sudden door openings in dense residential parking areas. Leave home a few minutes earlier to resist the urge to speed through these high-risk zones. Section 7 Summary. General driving mastery lies in constant observation, courteous space sharing, and early speed adjustments. Practice these skills until they become reflex. You will navigate every South Carolina roadway with poise and safety. The next section will tackle special situation driving, ensuring you are prepared for the state's diverse weather and traffic challenges. Section 8. Safe driving tips. Section 8 bundles proven strategies that prevent crashes, smooth traffic flow, and keep every trip stress-free. Adopt these safe driving tips today and you will protect your license, your vehicle, and the lives of those who share South Carolina roads with you. Defensive driving mindset. Assume other drivers may make mistakes, prepare by identifying escape routes, and keeping a safety cushion. Stay focused on driving tasks only. Eating, grooming, or reaching for items diverts critical reaction time. Constantly ask, what if, to predict hazards before they materialize. Managing speed and space. Obey posted limits and adjust speed for weather, traffic density, and visibility. The basic speed law override signs. Use the 3-second following rule in ideal conditions. Extend to 5 or 6 seconds in rain or at night. Smooth acceleration and braking reduce rear-end risk and save fuel. Intersections and right-of-way. Slow on approach, scan left, center, right, then left again before entering. Most serious crashes happen here. Commit to going only when you have a clear path. Hesitating mid-intersection confuses other drivers. Yield even when you believe you have the right-of-way. If another road user forces the issue, safety beats pride. Avoiding distractions. Activate Do Not Disturb on your phone and stow it where you can't see notifications light up. Program GPS and audio playlists before shifting into gear. Ask passengers to manage devices if changes are needed en route. Remember, looking away for 2 seconds at 55 miles per hour covers more than half a football field blind. Combating aggressive and fatigued driving. Leave early to eliminate schedule pressure that fuels speeding and risky lane changes. If another driver acts aggressively, avoid eye contact, steer clear, and do not respond with gestures or headlights. Plan breaks every 2 hours on long trips. Drowsiness mimics alcohol impairment and often strikes in mid-afternoon. Sharing the road wisely. Give large trucks extra turning room and avoid lingering in their no-zone, blind areas. Provide a minimum 3-foot clearance when overtaking cyclists. Shift a full lane when safe. Expect pedestrians in crosswalks at night or near bus stops, even when visibility is poor. Night and low visibility tips. Clean headlights and adjust them annually. Clouded lenses can cut light output by 75%. Dim interior gauges and look toward the right pavement edge to reduce glare from oncoming high beams. Increase following distance and reduce speed so you can stop within the reach of your headlights. Vehicle readiness. Check tire pressure, fluid levels, lights, and wiper blades weekly. Small maintenance prevents big roadside hazards. Keep windshields and mirrors clean inside and out. Streaks and smudges amplify glare in sun or rain. Secure cargo so sudden stops don't turn groceries, tools, or luggage into projectiles. Eco-driving and courtesy. Smooth starts, steady cruising, and anticipating lights can boost fuel economy by up to 30%. Merge early and take turns in zipper fashion during lane drops to keep everyone moving. A quick thank you wave diffuses tension and encourages cooperative behavior from other drivers. Section 8 Summary. Safe driving is no secret. Consistency, courtesy, and foresight weave every tip in this section together. Practice them until they become habit, and you will lower crash odds, cut costs, and arrive far less stressed. Section 9 will equip you with step-by-step procedures for handling emergencies and collisions should prevention ever fail. Section 9. Emergency situations and avoiding collisions. Section 9 prepares you to recognize, avoid, and manage emergencies from skids to crashes, so split-second decisions come naturally. Practice these responses in safe settings now. They could save lives when the unexpected strikes on South Carolina roads. Preventing and correcting skids. Slow before curves and on wet roads, most skids result from excessive speed combined with abrupt steering or braking. If the rear wheels skid, steer gently in the direction you want the front of the car to go. Avoid hard brakes or acceleration. Look where you want to travel, not at the obstacle. Your hands follow your eyes. Tire blowouts. Grip the wheel firmly, ease off the accelerator, and allow the vehicle to slow. Do not brake until speed drops below 30 miles per hour. Signal, steer straight to a safe shoulder, and activate hazard flashers once under control. Inspect tires regularly for proper pressure, tread wear, bulges, and embedded objects to prevent blowouts. Brake failure. Pump the brake pedal rapidly. Often this builds enough pressure to regain stopping power. If pressure stays low, downshift to lower gears and apply the parking brake gradually while holding the release button. Aim for an open shoulder or soft roadside area. Never turn off the ignition, which locks the steering wheel. Off-road recovery. If wheels drop onto the shoulder, hold steering wheel straight and ease off the gas. Do not jerk back onto pavement. When speed falls to about 20 miles per hour and traffic allows, check mirrors, signal, and steer gently back onto the roadway. Braking hard on mixed surfaces can cause a spin. Maintain light brake pressure if needed. Avoiding head-on collisions. When an oncoming vehicle drifts into your lane, brake hard, flash headlights, and sound horn. Steer to the right shoulder, never toward the left, where the other driver may recover. If collision is unavoidable, aim for softer, angled impacts, ditch, bushes, rather than a solid object. What to do after a crash? Stop immediately, move vehicles out of traffic if possible, and turn on hazard flashers to warn others. Check for injuries, call 911, and supply exact location plus number of injured persons. Exchange names, addresses, phone numbers, insurance, and vehicle details. Photograph damage for records. Vehicle fires or smoke. Signal, pull off the road quickly, turn off ignition, and get everyone at least 100 feet upwind. Do not open the hood fully. Oxygen feeds flames. Call emergency services and keep traffic clear. Routine maintenance of wiring, fuel lines, and fluid levels greatly reduces fire risk. Flooded roads and deep water. Turn around. Just 6 inches of moving water can sweep a car away. Depth is impossible to judge from the driver's seat. If water rises around you, unbuckle, roll down, or break side window and exit onto the roof before the car sinks. Never restart a stalled engine in water. Internal damage can be catastrophic. Railroad track emergencies. If stuck on tracks, exit immediately and run toward the train at a 45 degrees angle to avoid flying debris. Locate and call the blue and white ENS sign posted near the crossing to stop train traffic quickly. Never stop on tracks. Always ensure traffic ahead lets you clear completely before entering. Section 9 Summary. Emergencies demand calm, rehearsed actions. Use these techniques to steer, brake, and communicate under pressure. Combine prevention with practice, and you will cut crash odds and control damage when incidents happen. Section 10 Sharing the road. Section 10 shows how courtesy and clear communication keep everyone, drivers, walkers, riders, and workers safe on South Carolina roads. Learn the unique needs of each road user so you can anticipate mistakes and prevent conflicts before they happen. Pedestrians. Yield to pedestrians in both marked and unmarked crosswalks. They always have right-of-way when lawfully crossing. Slow near schools, bus stops, and parked cars, children may dart into the street without warning. Never overtake a vehicle stopped at a crosswalk. A hidden pedestrian could be in front of it. Bicyclists. Bicycles are legal vehicles entitled to the full lane. Pass only with at least 3 feet of clearance. Before turning right, check mirrors and blind spot for cyclists riding straight through in bike lanes. Expect bicyclists to weave slightly to avoid potholes or road debris. Give them space to maneuver. Motorcyclists. Motorcycles accelerate quickly and disappear in blind spots. Double-check mirrors before lane changes. Allow a full lane width when following or passing. Sharing a lane crowds the rider and is illegal. Riders brake with front and rear wheels, so their brake lights may flash during downshifts. Maintain 4-second following gaps. Commercial trucks and buses. Large vehicles need longer stopping distances and swing wide on right turns. Stay back until the trailer clears. If you cannot see the truck driver's mirrors, they cannot see you. Avoid lingering in no-zone blind areas. Pass quickly on the left, signal early, and do not cut in until both truck headlights appear in your mirror. School buses. Stop at least 20 feet from a bus displaying flashing red lights and an extended stop arm on undivided roads. Remain stopped until lights cease, even if the stop arm retracts slowly to protect boarding children. Violations carry fines over $500 and 6 license points, among the harshest penalties in state code. Emergency and service vehicles. When an emergency vehicle approaches with lights or siren, pull to the nearest curb and stop until it passes. For vehicles stopped on the shoulder with flashing lights, move 1 lane over or slow 20 miles per hour below the limit. Failure to follow the move-over law doubles fines and adds points to your driving record. Animals and animal-drawn vehicles. Approach horseback riders and horse-drawn buggies slowly, giving at least 1 lane of space. Avoid horns or loud engine revs. Startled animals may bolt into traffic. Be prepared to stop entirely on narrow rural roads until the animal is safely passed. Slow-moving farm equipment. Orange triangular emblems warn that tractors travel under 25 miles per hour. Reduce speed early to avoid rear-end crashes. Only pass when the road ahead is clear and the operator signals or pulls right to let you by. Expect wide left turns into unmarked field drives where equipment must swing into the opposing lane. Railroad crossings and light rail. Trains cannot swerve or stop quickly. Never race a lowering gate or ignore flashing red signals. After stopping, look and listen both directions. Multiple tracks may hide a second train. Buses and some trucks must always stop, so anticipate sudden deceleration near tracks. Work zones and flaggers. Orange signs, cones, and barrels mean workers' feet from traffic, slow to posted limits and obey flagger hand signals. Merge early in zipper fashion to minimize stop-and-go queues and road rage incidents. Fines double for most violations when workers or equipment are present. Drivers may face jail for injuring a worker. Section 10 Summary. Sharing the road is about respect, patience, and foresight, qualities that turn potential conflicts into smooth cooperation. Practice these principles every mile and you will protect the most vulnerable users while keeping traffic flowing efficiently. Congratulations, you have completed the core sections. Continue reviewing to reinforce safe habits and ace the South Carolina Knowledge Test. Section 11. Special Driving Situations. Section 11 explores South Carolina's most challenging driving environments, from freeways and mountain grades to flash-flooded roads, so you can adapt smoothly and stay safe. Master these tactics before you face them in real life. Preparation turns dangerous surprises into controlled responses. Freeway and interstate driving. Match the traffic speed in the acceleration lane, signal, and merge into the first safe gap. Do not stop at the end of the ramp unless absolutely necessary. Keep right except to pass. Cruising in the left lane creates rolling roadblocks and road rage situations. When exiting, signal early and maintain highway speed until fully in the deceleration lane to avoid rear-end collisions. Rural and gravel roads. Loose gravel has traction. Slow 10 to 15 miles per hour below the posted limit and steer gently to prevent fishtails. Watch for slow farm equipment and wildlife at dawn and dusk. High-beam headlights reveal animal eyes sooner. Soft shoulders drop suddenly. If wheels drift off, ease off the gas and return only after speed falls below 20 miles per hour. Mountain and steep grade driving. Shift to a lower gear before long descents. Engine braking prevents overheated service brakes and fade. Sound horn briefly on blind curves and stay in your lane. Mountain crashes often involve centerline encroachment. Use designated pullouts to let faster traffic pass. Impeding on grades can trigger tickets and aggressive passing. Night driving strategies. Switch to low beams within 500 feet of oncoming traffic and 200 feet when following another vehicle. Dim dash lights and clean the inside of the windshield to cut glare and ghost reflections. If blinded, glance to the right pavement edge until your vision recovers. Never stare directly at high beams. Rain, fog, and reduced visibility. Turn on low beam headlights and wipers at the first sign of rain. Daytime running lights do not activate rear lamps. Slow until you can stop within the distance you can see ahead. In dense fog, this may be 25 to 30 miles per hour. Use defrosters and AC together to clear humidity quickly and maintain full windshield visibility. Snow, ice, and black ice. Accelerate, brake, and steer with featherlight inputs. Abrupt moves trigger skids on slick pavement. Bridges and shaded areas freeze first. Test traction with a gentle brake tap when road appears wet at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Carry a winter kit, shovel, sand or kitty litter, blanket, and phone charger in case you become stranded. High winds and flash floods. Grip the wheel firmly and anticipate gusts when passing gaps in trees or tall buildings. High-profile vehicles drift most. If water covers the road, turn around. Just 6 inches of moving water can carry a car off the pavement. During tornado warnings, leave the roadway and shelter in a sturdy building. Never seek refuge under an overpass. Work zone navigation. Orange signs mean lane shifts, narrowed shoulders, or flaggers ahead. Reduce speed and merge early in zipper fashion. Stay alert for construction vehicles entering from crossovers and watch for uneven pavement edges. Fines double for most violations when workers or equipment are present. Serious injuries can lead to felony charges. Bridges, tunnels, and drawbridges. Remove sunglasses before entering tunnels to maintain clear vision in lower light. Drawbridge warning lights and gates function like railroad signals. Stop at least 15 foot back until fully raised. Open Great Bridge decks may feel slippery. Hold steady speed and avoid sudden lane changes. Section 11 Summary. Special driving situations demand extra attention, lower speeds, and refined control, but the right techniques make them manageable. Review and practice these skills until they are second nature. They will safeguard you on every South Carolina adventure.